If you would like to request a video, send an email to questions@newstitchaday.com. How to knit the Guernsey cast-on, left-handed. For this tutorial, you will need a pair of knitting needles and a ball of yarn. Special thanks to our sponsor Lion Brand for providing today's yarn. Today we are using their Martha Stewart's Crafts line Extra Soft Wool Blend in the color Winter Sky. Step 1. We're going to take a short length of yarn and leave about 6 to 8 inches on our tail here. And then we're going to make a slip knot. Okay, and we'll place the slip knot onto our knitting needle and tighten it down. Step 2. Using the single cast-on method, we're going to place a new stitch onto our knitting needle. So to do this, we're going to hold our yarn straight out from our knitting needle perpendicular. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to wrap along the outside and bring it in. And then we're going to insert our needle underneath the working yarn and then remove our thumb and tighten down. Now we don't want this to be too incredibly tight, but we do want this to be fairly close to the cast-on, to the slip stitch that we put on there, the slip knot stitch. Okay, step 3, we're going to take our other knitting needle and we're going to slip the second stitch over the first stitch, just like this, and this is going to create a little knot. Okay, so we're tightening that down. Step 4, we're going to place 2 more stitches onto our needle using the single cast-on method. So 1, 2. Okay, and again, we want these to be fairly snug up here, but we don't want them to be so tight that we can't get our needle in to slip the stitch over. Step 5, take your other needle and we're going to slip the second stitch over the first stitch. Okay, and then we'll tighten that down. So we're going to repeat steps 4 and 5 until you've cast on all the stitches that you need. And I'm going to do this one more time so you can see it. We're just going to cast on 2 stitches with the single method. And then take our knitting needle and slip the second stitch over the first stitch. Okay, just like that. So what we're doing is we're creating these little kind of bars and these little knots that are going to make sort of eyelets along the edge of our cast-on, and it was traditionally used as a decorative stitch for Guernsey sweaters, but you can really use it for anything that you want. You just have to be careful when you're making these stitches not to spread them out too far, otherwise you're going to have an uneven cast-on. So you can see where the knots are and these little bands in between. So that's how you knit the Guernsey cast-on. Want more New Stitch a Day? Check out our website at newstitchaday.com. New Stitch a Day is a Craftery Media production. Check out our other shows at fiberstory.tv and yarntripper.com. This video is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution No Derivatives 3.0 unported license, which means use it on your website, put it in your patterns, but please don't change anything.